friends, welcome back to Coal Country. Tonight we are making a creamy lemon chicken orzo dish. Not a soup, but like a pasta. And I still can't do too much, so my Isabella is going to be assisting me tonight. We have our orzo. We threw in our food processor since we had already had this out to make our sofrito, which is in a separate video for all of you. We threw in here carrots, celery, and onions, and there was the little remnants of the sofrito. So we have butter, and I'm going to put a little olive oil in our pan that's warming up, and we are going to get this done, and it's going to be a pretty quick dish. So let me find my olive oil. All right, so we have our butter. Isabella's going to put some olive oil in there. That looks good. We're going to let this come up to heat a little bit more. Also going to grab some minced garlic. You want to grab the wooden spatula. All right, and then we're going to have to get this in there, Isabella. All right, watch out, honey. So we have our, essentially like the trinity, like I said, carrots, onions, celery, and we had a little remnants from the sofrito. So we are going to get this in. Watch out, honey. It might... Okay, you're going to need a rubber spatula, though, to scrape this out the correct way.
That looks pretty good.
I don't think so. So you hold it with one hand and you scrape with the other. We're working on our kitchen skills. Dogs are just coming in from outside. It's been a cold, rainy, dreary day, and now at 7 o'clock, the sun is just starting to peek out.
Oh, the climate changes. It's been raining for like a week.
I think that's good, Pip. You want to put that in the sink, and we're going to get the garlic in there? We probably won't. So we're also going to put our garlic in. All right, we're going to give that a good stir. Yep. Move it around in your pot.
Smells good. I like the smell of it. I wonder what a raw onion would taste like.
You've eaten raw onion on things.
I mean,
like by itself?
Onion, yeah.
It would taste like a raw onion. All right, so it's been a few minutes. We've let this cook down. The carrots have softened, starting to smell delicious. And we are going to mix our orzo in. Go ahead, Isabella. Pour the orzo in.
Oh.
We have just about 4 cups of orzo. And I just want to stir this around in here a little bit before putting our chicken broth in. And we are also going to put in here some thyme. Oh, wait, not yet. Open the thyme, please. All right, so we're going to get a good pinch of that, probably about a tablespoon. And now we're going to put our chicken broth in. So we're starting with 4 cups, and we're going to go from there.
All of it?
All of it.
I just can't believe it. Why not do it again?
So 4 cups of chicken broth, a little over 4 cups of our orzo. We have this on medium heat. Can you give me like a 1/4 cup measure? We're also putting about a 1/2 cup of lemon juice in here. A little bit of lemon pepper. Over here. I'm just gonna stir. All right, gonna put the lid on. Let it do its thing for a little bit. Just turn the heat down just a little bit, and we'll check back on it a couple minutes. I almost forgot an important ingredient. A little bit of crushed red pepper out of Isabella's favorite jar. Always like a good zing. Give this a good stir and see how we're doing so far. Looks like we're doing pretty good. I want this to absorb just about all of the liquid before we move on to the next step. Okay, so our heat is on just 2, so that's like super low. And we are just about all of the moisture absorbed. So we are going to put in a little bit of Parmesan cheese, what Isabella has measured out for us. You see the smiley face. And then we are going to slowly incorporate cream as well. So do a 1/2 cup. Yeah. This is teamwork here. Instead of having only one hand, I actually have 4 here.
Actually 3.
Well, 3, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. So you put the whole 1 cup in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we did 1 cup, and we're going to do the rest of the Parmesan. We're going to stir this up, make it nice and creamy. We may end up adding more Parmesan depending on how it looks. We also have to get our chicken in here yet. Now, obviously, since it's from the rotisserie, it was already cooked. So I'm just going to take this. This is how much we have yet. I would say that's probably about 3 cups, just eyeballing it. And we're gonna mix that in. And I'm gonna completely turn the heat off at this point because our cast iron Dutch oven is more than hot enough to carry us through, and I don't want any stickage. This week has been filled with chicken recipes. And I could only stay out of the kitchen for so long, so I'm here with help. This looks pretty good, but I'm thinking we might do just a little bit more Parmesan. All right, so my children are currently standing behind me plotting how they're going to stay up late tonight. Every night they say they're going to stay up late, and they don't. Okay. This is like the ultimate like chicken noodle, creamy, lemony. It's just comfort in a bowl. Perfect for a cold, rainy, dreary day. So there we have it. Bring you in for a nice close look here. Creamy, lemony, filled with hidden vegetables, really. And I'm just gonna let this sit in the pot for about 5 minutes. Let it all come together and let that chicken warm up nicely. And then we have dinner. So thanks for joining us. I'll see you tomorrow.
So tonight we're having taquitos.
Which everyone saw me make these on one of our Sunday cleanups of the fridge. These have pulled chicken, refried beans, cheese, and do they have a little bit of corn? I can't quite remember. These were put into the freezer and everyone has been eyeing them up since, wanting to have them. And what are we having with that?
We can either have salsa or
Corn salsa.
corn salsa, but my personal favorite, barbecue and ranch.
And we're having rice.
Which I requested.
Yes. Now, are we ready to share a recipe for this or no?
No, not yet.
No, we have some tweaking to do, right?
Yeah.
But the theory behind this is it was made in the crock pot. We used our jalapeno salsa, chicken bouillon, and some other seasonings to make a Mexi style rice. However, we are not thrilled with the consistency. It's a little soft on the mushy end. So once I get this drilled down to a perfect dish, I will more than willingly share because it did save a lot of prep time. We're able to just dump and go with this, but not completely thrilled yet. So we're about to have dinner and what? We'll see you next time.
I'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us.
Alright. I gotta make it. I'm not taking the chances with my socks today.
Hey friends, welcome back to Coal Country Homestead. We are making another chicken dish tonight. What are we making, Miss Isabella?
Tortilla. Corn. Tortilla. Soup.
Chicken tortilla soup. So I have things kind of prepped here. We're gonna make it pretty quick because today's Cinco de Mayo, so we had to do a little touch of something for the day, right? So we have some butter and oil to warm up over here. And we are going to get in there some onions and one sliced jalapeno. And then we're going to build our flavors up from there. Isabella's going to assist me with today's recipe. So, shall we? All right. All right, so since I just did all of that and did not show you anything because I wasn't recording, in our pot we have our onion, we have sofrito, we have jalapeno sliced thin. Our seasoning, we have about a tablespoon each of chili powder, cumin, and chicken bouillon. And we have about a teaspoon of paprika. And it is sweating down nicely. And our sofrito that we just made the other day turned out, see if I can open it with one hand, turned out so beautifully. So that is the basis of our dish. I'm gonna let that sweat down for a few more minutes and we'll move on to the next step. All right, so the next step, I have 1 can of diced tomatoes with green chilies. We're gonna put that right in. We're also gonna put in a 3/4 of a pint of our sweet pepper relish.
All of it?
All of it.
Okay. You said 3/4 of a pint.
Yep, because that jar is 3/4 of a pint.
Okay.
We have 1 can of pinto beans, partially drained. Grab the next can, Minimus.
Oh yeah.
And 1 can of black beans. partially drained over here. And 1 can of dark red kidney beans. Got it all out? Oh, well, let's see. Good whack, and they're all out. Stir that nicely.
Smells good.
Isabella's grabbing what I forgot downstairs. I have some of our Fiesta Salsa Rojo left from dinner the other night, so I'm going to put that in also. 1 pint of our corn salsa or corn relish. Some people call it different things. To me, it's a salsa. Isabella's opening up a can of corn right now, and I am putting in 1. This is a 1.5 pints of our jalapeno salsa. This is a great pantry meal, a dump and go. You can make this in a crock pot and really can customize it to whatever your flavor profiles are or what you have on hand. It's a great way to use up those half jars of salsa after another meal. And I can't forget some minced garlic. Give this a good stir. Taking some shortcuts tonight since I still can't use my hand really.
Should I drain some?
Yep, we gotta drain that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of it?
All of it. As much as you can. Alright, and our can of corn that Isabella just opened and drained for me. If I can get it open correctly. There we go. And we are just about out of room in this pot, but we still got to put our chicken in. Alright, so we have some pulled chicken here. This was a mix of white and just a little bit of dark meat in here because I wanted to use this for this soup and I didn't want it to dry out with just being white meat. So let's mix this around, and now all we got to do is let this bubble up, come together, and dinner will be ready. We'll be serving this with some diced onion. Geez, my brain just left me there. We're going to be serving this with sour cream, diced onion, and some cheddar cheese on top. But this is a big hearty pot here of our chicken soup. And of course, we can't forget the tortillas. So we'll have some tortillas on top as well. Some crunchy corn tortillas. I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to give this a good 20 minutes, and we'll be back. All right, so I had to pull some of the liquid out of here because it was bubbling over because I overdid it as per usual. But look at how good and hearty this looks. And we are going to finish the pot off with a little bit of whatever dairy you have, like cream, half and half, milk. I'm using half and half right now because it's what I have on hand. And it's just going to make this a nice, creamy chicken tortilla soup. And I have some hungry girls ready to chow this down. So thanks for joining me as I halfway cook. But it is Time for dinner. And let me show you how nice hearty scoop this is. Look at that. Delish. I'll see you next time. Hey friends, welcome back to Coal Country. It's just me today in the kitchen. I'm going to try and take on cooking by myself. We're going to make something relatively easy, broccoli Alfredo. We have these cute little pasta to make. We're only going to make a half of this package because we're going to go real heavy on the broccoli. I already have my chicken broth starting to boil over here to make our pasta and our broccoli and to give it lots of flavor. And I have some butter and olive oil heating up. So we're going to get this done pretty quickly. It's a beautiful day outside and Zachary is outside tilling in our garden right now, and I am trying not to pay attention because it gives me anxiety with that big machine. It's a little intense. I'll see if I can put a clip in here for all of you to see, but this thing is massive. We rented it to try and make things easier, but it's a beast to control. So I'm trying not to pay attention and I'm trying to focus on this. So let's get dinner made. All right, so any Alfredo, well, this Alfredo is gonna have broccoli. And we are gonna keep it super easy here. We have our beautiful broccoli. We are going to cook our broccoli right along with our pasta. So I am just going to roughly chop these off here. We're not trying to win any awards with the beauty of our chopping. Just happy to have some function in my hand again here. So we have that, and then all of the extra scraps, of course, will go out to the chickens. I hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. We're having some of the first nice weather in the past few weeks. It's been super cold and just rainy and dreary. So Zachary is trying to catch up on a lot of our garden work this weekend since we've been super behind with everything going on. And of course, with my injury hasn't helped anything. So he is out there. And since we are expanding our garden this year, we needed to do some tilling, which typically we only till the first year to kind of set up the beds. And then beyond that, we just amend the soil. We don't really till each year. So, and our ground is super rocky, so it really needed this. So there we go. We have our broccoli chopped. I will let Zachary handle chopping that up for the chickens. Every Alfredo needs some good butter, some heavy cream, some Parmesan cheese, garlic powder, onion powder, and some Italian seasoning. And I just muddled this a little bit to kind of activate those herbs. So our water is already boiling, so let's get this going. All right, water is boiling. I'm going to turn the heat on over here so we can work on our Alfredo while this is going. And isn't this pasta just adorable? Look at that. So this says, let's see, cook until done to your liking. So no time guidelines given. I'm going to use some scissors here to make this easier on my poor fingers. And we are going to do just about half of the bag. All right, that looks good. Gonna get a little salt in our water here. Keep an eye on that. And our butter and oil are starting to heat up. I am going to throw the broccoli in right away. This is going to be a little tricky one-handed. I'm dropping some on the floor. Dogs might have a treat. There we go. That wasn't so bad. I think another great mix-in with broccoli would be spinach, but Angelina does not like hot spinach, so I will leave that out. I also couldn't help but think that this would be delicious with some crab meat mixed in, but we shall see. I'm really known for making things much more complicated than they need to be and really doing up dishes, so I'm trying to keep it basic for my first time back in the kitchen without any assistance. And I want to thank you all for your well wishes and words of encouragement. They are so appreciated. And each day I'm getting better and better. Okay, so let's see how quickly we can get this done. We are putting in some jarred minced garlic because I'm not trying to fuss with fresh. And whenever I use jarred minced garlic like this, I always use more because the flavor isn't as rich. We're going to get in here our Italian seasoning. See, this is where the one hand becomes tricky. Here we go. Italian seasoning in. Just a very little bit of salt because we're going to get a lot of saltiness from our Parmesan. Some fresh cracked black pepper. I'm going to need a whisk. And also some crushed red pepper flakes. Some garlic powder. And some onion powder. And we're going to whisk this around. It smells so good. I wish I could give you all a smell-o-vision. And we are also going to move our pasta around a little bit so it doesn't stick. All right, so next is our heavy whipping cream, if I can open it. I won't be making a dessert tonight or anything. Friends of ours sent us this beautiful edible arrangement as a get well wish for us, so that will be our dessert tonight, and I'm so excited to have some of that. And it was so sweet of them to send to us, so I really appreciated that. All right, so we are just starting to have a little bubbles form in our cream here. So I am going to begin to mix in our Parmesan. Now I like to have fresh Parmesan that we can grate ourselves, but you know, it is what it is. So we're going to use this and some of our regular, just run-of-the-mill parm dust, as Zachary calls it. So we're going to whisk this in. Now, if you've ever made a cream sauce like this and it ends up getting too cheesy, like stringy cheese where it's like goop, all you got to do is mix in a little bit of lemon juice and it turns out beautifully. It just thins it enough and helps with that ooey gooey stringy cheese pull that sometimes happens. So we have that in, and now we are going to mix in our shredded parm. I'm going to save just a little bit for serving. See that little gooiness? If that doesn't thin out by itself, I will mix in a little bit of lemon juice. Now, some like their sauce really thick like that. I personally do. The girls are not as fond of the extra cheesiness. I'm just going to get a splash of lemon juice here. Just going to mix that. Much better. Check on, going to give that about 2 minutes yet, and then we are going to mix this together and dinner will be ready. So friends, Zachary will probably have a slight heart attack that I'm even sharing this with all of you. But sometimes when you have things that happen on your homestead or in life, you get behind, and this is the reality. This is what our garden looks like right now. It is well overgrown with weeds. It is not ready for us to have anything in the garden, but that is changing today. And there, just right there, is the beast of a tiller that he will be using. So he is prepping that space there for our additional garden beds that he will be tilling in. But as you see, this took the bottom of the totem pole with our priority list over the past few weeks. Just had a pop of warm weather and everything exploded, and then it got cold again and rainy. So now that it's a nice warm day, he is out here putting in the work. But since we had a few minutes left for our dinner tonight, I thought I would just show you a quick glimpse. This is going to look a whole lot different the next time you see it. But if you do see down where the chicken coop is, down there is where we have our raised beds that are all filled with our onions and garlic. And right in front of the chicken coop, we have some hops growing and grapes. We don't anticipate using the hops for anything probably, but we're hoping that it gives some good shade to the chickens this year. So sounds like our mower is getting bogged down by the high grass there. So I'm going to go in before I get roped into helping with anything out here. But just thought I'd show you all a glimpse. Well, friends, I am a messy cook on a good day. So I am extra messy when I'm one-handed. So let's see if we can do this in a semi not crazy manner. I'm okay with putting the pasta right in because this is going to help us get that little bit of starchiness that we're going to need to bring our sauce together. So I'm just skipping the strainer altogether. This pasta really is long. All right, now I'm going to see if I can scoop out our broccoli here. Look at that beautiful broccoli and pasta all right together. Skip a step. I'm sure you all hear Mookie whining in the other room. He is so used to being outside with Zachary. Anytime he's doing something outside, Mookie's out there running around, and he is not happy that I have him in his crate right now. Friends, we are getting it done one-handed. But let me tell you, I have missed being in the kitchen. I have been trying to soak up all the inspiration I can. Oftentimes when I'm not feeling inspired, I'll put on some old school Food Network shows like Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, or what is it, Farmhouse Rules. I've always loved her shows. So I've been soaking in lots of inspiration while I've been stationary, as hard as that is for me to do. Okay, we're looking good here, and I'm gonna get rid of this pasta water. We're not wasting any of the broccoli. Just did a quick strain right through the scoop. Alright, I know I'm making a disaster of a mess here, but you all get the drift. And looking at the consistency of this, I am going to mix in a little bit more Parmesan. Alfredo is one of the easiest dishes to make that feels like a luxurious treat. And once you make Alfredo at home, you will never order it at a restaurant because it's just never as good. All of our broccoli sticking to our tong here. All right, so that's really it for this part. I am going to put the lid on, turn the heat off, and let this sit for a good 15 minutes to allow everything to come together, and I'll show you a dish once it's done. Well, somehow I found myself out here again. And guess what? We planned exactly how we were setting all this up. Spaced it out. I even made a pretty little diagram that I scribbled all over. But now we're changing the plans. Fun times. Here's some progress. Freshly tilled, new grow space. All right, don't mind the messy reveal, but here is the delicious broccoli Alfredo. I'm about to get everyone served, and Zachary is still out tilling the garden. So we'll see you next time, guys. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen.